Yeah, you got to roll with the punches. Welcome back, everybody, to Hibernian Radio. This is show number 312. We're brought to you by Madden Funds, Local 150, Fox's Pizza in Orland Park and Mokina, the finest pizza on the south side, and Flood Brothers Disposal. This week, my guest is the parade queen of the Chicago South Side St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's the 47th year. Please welcome to the program, Grace McKee. Grace, hello and welcome.
This is so exciting to be here. Thanks for having me.
So we have a lot to talk about, and I don't want you to feel nervous. We were setting the camera up before the interview, and I could just see you being like, "Oh no, what have I gotten myself into?"
Yeah,
yeah. There's nothing. I'm going to try to be as gentle as possible with this interview. But congratulations on becoming queen.
Thank you very much.
I'm curious to know how the competition went, how you stumbled upon it. Was it something that you wanted to do? Oftentimes I meet a lot of the queens, and I have throughout the years, that sometimes it feels like they enter the competition by happen chance. So like somebody, maybe it's a relative that told them about it, or they just stumbled into the competition or info about it a few days before. You have a great tradition in your family with the Chicago Stockyard Kilty Band.
Yep.
Your grandfather was a proud member. And his sons, your father, your uncles, and then you were also a member as a kid.
I was until 8th grade. Yep.
So
you're a drummer.
So you're a drummer. Mm-hmm. Shout out to all the drummers out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you were quite familiar with the Chicago South Side Parade and its traditions.
Yes, but not so much the Queen. I kind of stumbled into it, I guess, in 2023. I don't even remember kind of how I saw it. But I'm happy that I didn't get it in 2023. I was so busy with school and working full time that the timing just wasn't correct for me. And so then I, applied again this year. I thought, maybe this would be a really great opportunity for me. And it really was. The application process was so smooth. All of the other women running were incredible. And you got to meet a lot of really great people.
And you grew up on the South Side.
Yes.
You're from the Beverly neighborhood.
Christ the King,
Paris.
yes.
Now, I must ask, do you have to be a South Sider to be the South Side St. Patrick's Day Queen?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess South Side, maybe, but I'm not really sure what the application process looks like on the other side.
Okay.
But for me, I mean, obviously from Beverly, CK, Mother Macaulay.
Yep.
There's a lot of Macaulay girls. I think I'm the 5th one who's won.
Okay.
Yeah. So
shout out to
Max.
Macaulay. Yep.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about, your family's history with the parade, the Kilty Band specifically. Like, obviously your Irish roots run deep, and parade festivities, and this has been a part of your entire upbringing.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of feels like bigger than Christmas sometimes, for sure. So the Stockyards have been a part of the band since the beginning in the 70s, when it was the wee folks of Tallman. And every year they've been in the number 1 spot leading off the parade. So we've been there. I mean, kind of that whole day we spent at my cousin's house preparing. The bagpipes are always tuning up in the basement. They're always walking up and down the block, just preparing. The whole family is involved in this for sure. So
obviously, the Queen thing is not something that you necessarily ever aspired to be. You were just happy enough being a part of the band, I presume.
Yes. Yeah. This was not something that I had thought of growing up, because the band was so, kind of all encompassing. Being a part of that, walking with the band, and even if you weren't in it, you were still involved, preparing us for everything.
Now, tell me a little bit about your family. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 younger brothers who went to Brother Rice, David and Marty.
Okay.
Marty was in the band for a little bit. He was a bass drummer. But now, I mean, we're still at all the events, always supporting them in different ways.
Now, did your mom and dad... Was being a part of the band mandatory growing up?
I wouldn't say mandatory. I think it was strongly encouraged. Yeah.
Does your mom play in the band?
She does not, no.
Okay.
But she helps out. So we have a tartan ball every year, and she is always kind of running the background for everything.
What's the tartan ball?
It is like our annual fundraiser. So we have it at the American Legion in Evergreen Park. Mm-hmm. We have Scottish dancers, Irish dancers. Obviously, the band comes out a few times. But it's our biggest fundraiser for the year.
Why do you think the South Side Parade is bigger than Christmas for some of the Irish families there?
Because obviously for Christmas, you're getting the whole family together, but this is the extended family. It's everybody.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah. So it's not just cousins, it's second, third cousins. It's everybody together. Mm-hmm. yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. I think that's a South Side thing.
What part of
Christmas?
What part of Ireland are your roots from? Are you aware?
We are from a few different parts of Ireland. I believe we're from Cork.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's in Limerick.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
We're Limerick people as well.
Oh, are you?
Well, yeah. So you're obviously extremely in tune, and so yes, as far as a holiday goes, I would agree with you. For a lot of the South Side families, and for the listeners who don't know, the South Side of Chicago, specifically the Beverly neighborhood, is predominantly Irish.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Irish neighborhood. Now, the North Siders will disagree with me, and they might say Edison Park, and a lot of it has to do really with the fact that so many Irish Americans are police or firemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to live in the city in order to be on the Chicago Police Department or the fire department. So within Chicago, there's two neighborhoods that are predominantly Irish. There's the Beverly neighborhood and the Edison Park neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your dad's a police officer.
Yes.
Anybody else in your family in law enforcement?
My uncle. My grandfather was a police officer. I think that's it. Yeah.
Now, this is the 47th year of the parade.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most excited for? And when was your first parade? Do you remember your first parade?
I don't remember my first parade. I remember my first parade marching with the band,
Mm-hmm.
and fixing. Well, I had my papa fix my Glengarry because I never wore it correctly, and he was a stickler on it.
What's it called?
A Glengarry. It's the hat that you'll see them wear.
All right.
Yep. So I always had it wrong. And he would come over and correct it. I remember being on 103rd and Western, and he's fixing it like right before we step off for the parade because I never had it correct. I think what I'm looking forward to most is everyone's going to be all together, and I think this is very different than what we normally would do for the parade.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest part is going to be, so they're number 1, I'm number 18, getting the band to finish, and then they're going to run back and try to take a picture with me with the float. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know logistically how that's going to work.
Yeah.
Because they're running with drums and bagpipes.
Well, it's interesting you say that because the Southside Parade traditionally has always been the family-oriented parade, right? Mm-hmm. That's the parade for families.
Yes.
And it's interesting that you say that the most important component of this parade for you, even while being queen, is to get that family picture in. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We have church in the morning at St. Cajetan's.
Mm-hmm.
They have a pew for me, which is really exciting. So, the whole family's going to church, and then we're going to go to the parade.
Now, tell me a little bit about your upbringing. You went to CK, and then you went to Mother Macaulay, and then you went to Southern Illinois University.
I did.
You're a Saluki.
Yes.
What do you do for a living now?
So I'm a senior aviation consultant at Recondo. I recently received my master's in aerospace and aviation sustainability, focusing on aeronautics from Embry-Riddle. So I work at the airport. I mean, there's something going on every day. It's never the same. It's a really incredible industry to be in.
What drew you to aeronautics, and were you interested in planes growing up?
No, I wanted to be a veterinarian forever. And then I went to high school and I joined the newspaper. So I was going to be a journalist. And then I interviewed Eileen Donovan, who's a pilot in the Marines. Mm-hmm. I did a feature article on her, and I actually won a few awards, which was really great.
Wow.
And so then after speaking with her, I realized that this was something that I was really interested in. And then I totally pivoted to aviation.
And her name's Eileen Donovan?
Mm-hmm. From CK.
Oh, really?
Yes. Macaulay grad as well. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So she served as a little bit someone you looked up to. Mm-hmm. And you were like, well, and let me, so the piece that you wrote won awards.
Yes.
And then, so is she still a mentor and friend to you to this day?
No, I haven't spoken to her in a few years, but I did email her a few years back and let her know that I changed kind of my whole life trajectory because of her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
You
really
should
great.
definitely reach out to her. Now, what is your job? Now, everybody, and I've worked in consulting that can mean a million different things.
You all use the buzzwords.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's Rotondo is the name of the company?
Recondo. Yes.
And so I presume, are they like a McKinsey group for aeronautical engineers? And is that what are they consulting on the building of planes and the logistics behind air traffic control and things like that? Like, who are their main clients?
Airports are mostly our clients. So we focus specifically on airports. We're not really looking at aircraft design or anything like that. It's making sure that the airport runs efficiently. So we do terminal design, airfield design. Yeah. An airport's like a small city. So it's providing all of that material for them and helping them in any way we can.
And do you have I don't know why R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly" just jumped into my head. I was like, do you ever hum that to yourself because you're into planes? No. What I was going to ask you is are they aware of your existence as queen this year?
They do. Yes, they are. Our president, Doug, actually put the Chicago Tribune on my desk. I didn't know it was going to be printed, actually.
Okay.
I came into work and it was just sitting there. And he's like, I thought you'd want a copy. They didn't know what this was, but they realized once I explained how big of a deal it was, and they were really excited. I was going to ask,
were you nervous about them finding out and trying to like explain that to people who aren't familiar with the Irish American culture here in Chicago?
They already knew about the bagpipe ban. So I think that this was not a shock.
Yeah.
They knew that I had applied in 2023, but I didn't tell anyone this year that I applied.
Okay.
Only my parents and my brothers. No one else knew, so
Yeah.
it was a surprise. Our group chat blew up once they
At work?
heard that. At work, and then my family one.
Well, I only say that because I happen to be connected to someone on LinkedIn who works with you, and they post. They're thrilled for you.
Yes.
And they posted it on LinkedIn today, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's on our program tonight. What a small world.
It is. Yeah, it gets smaller every day, especially with this. I'm meeting people that I didn't realize I had mutual friends with.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit about the contest itself.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it located this year?
It was at Bourbon Street, at the pre-parade fundraiser. Say that 3 times fast.
The pre-parade fundraiser? How South Side?
Yeah, I know. Every year they have it at
What are we
going to
call it? Call it the pre-parade fundraiser.
So they had that end of February. And so we interview a few hours before the actual fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announce it that night.
Now, did you know any of the other women competing with you?
No, I did not. I knew people in 2023, but this year I did not.
How friendly is the competition? I mean, it's a little bit smaller on the South Side when there's only, how many contestants were there this year?
There was 12, and then last year, or in 2023, I think it was like between 15 and 20.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know that the downtown parade is a little bit, the contestant pool is much larger, but I think that's why they have a court, right?
Yeah.
There is no court. This is just queen.
Me.
This is queen or nothing.
Yeah, just me.
Queen or go home. Mm-hmm. And so you really, traditionally, the girls who are in the downtown parade, if they get court one year, I think they kind of feel like, oh, I'm going to come back next year and I'll have a better shot at getting queen.
Right.
In the South Side parade, there are no such promises.
No, there is no second or third place, so you don't know how you did. Yeah.
Have you been marching around the house proclaiming yourself as queen at all?
Wearing the crown, it's a little heavier than I thought. Yeah. All the little girls love it. Like when I wear it out, they all think it's real diamonds and emeralds, and they love it. They want to wear it. Yep, they want to wear the sash. They think it's the greatest thing ever.
Has there been a favorite event that you've participated in thus far?
I really like the St. Baldrick's events. So I did one at St. Barnabas, and one of the girls asked me if I was related to Queen Elizabeth. Really? Yes.
How did you answer that?
Of course.
She's British. Don't ever admit to that.
I was, I'm not going to say no.
But I hear you. But that has to be, that's got to be the funnest part, right? And the most heart-touching part is to connect with young girls and feel like that they can look up to you. And do any of them ask, like, what do you do for a living or anything? Like, I guess
they don't care.
They don't care.
No, they don't care what I do.
When you're a queen, you're a queen. That's what you do.
This is my job. They think I live in a castle.
Yep.
Yeah, this is it. There is no Grace.
Yes.
No, it's just the queen.
And how has your family reacted to the whole experience thus far? I'm sure they're thrilled.
They're thrilled. I think we just didn't realize how much, goes into this and how huge this really is and what an honor, this has become. But I think I didn't think it was possible to see my family any more than I already did. Now I think we see each other at least, every day.
You're like, maybe a little too much. Are there events associated with being the Southside Parade Queen that run all year? Are you obligated to show up to certain things after the parade this upcoming weekend?
So I'm throwing out the pitch at the halfway to St. Patrick's Day Sox game.
Ooh, I like that.
No pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I believe we have a golf fundraiser, and then there's just smaller events through the Young Gaelic Association.
Right on. And now, are you still active with the Kilty Band? Do you still bang the drums for them at all?
I do not, but I work in their merchandise. I sell tickets. I sell like all their hats and shirts and things at events.
All right, on.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Southside Irish parade memory?
Mine would have to be the fixing of the Glengarry with my papa.
Okay, yeah, just a sweet moment where you're like, this is like, it just reminded you how important this is to him.
Yeah, and you're all part of it. You know, it's like you're joining your uncles and your dad and your cousins, and it's a big family event, and you're finally all in it together.
Mm-hmm. I know that this must mean the world to them. Mm-hmm. And do you ever ask yourself, like, did you do it for them or did you do it for yourself? What do you think?
I think I did it for both. But I know that they're so excited. Like, I don't think I've ever seen my dad or my nana like so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was in shock. I think we were both in shock that I won. We were both like, I can't believe she just said my name. It was kind of surreal. So I think it's for both. I think that it's really kind of brought us together even more. We're always just talking in our group chats, trying to figure everything out. My aunts are trying to figure out my outfits. Yes, it is a family affair for sure.
How many years have they been doing the Queen contest on the South Side?
I'm the 11th queen.
Oh, so,
yes.
Yeah, so not that long, really.
Not that long. And I know Bailey was a queen for 2 years because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her last name? Do you know her last name?
Maiden name is O'Connell.
Oh, okay.
Married name is Heckert.
Oh, okay. Shout out to her. What do you think the most underrated part of that day is, of the parade day?
The most underrated?
Yeah. No, I'm just going to, this is like firing questions at you. I'm sorry.
Let me think. Most underrated part. I like beforehand.
Yeah.
I like to hang out beforehand.
The pregame.
Yeah, it's like the energy, the anticipation of like the whole day ahead of you. I love that in the morning.
Yes. It is fun to walk outside your door, especially if you live in the Beverly neighborhood, right? And to see everyone walking down your block and all the people dressed in green and descending on Western Avenue for this event. And to think that this year that you're the queen, to wake up and see that in the morning has got to be invigorating.
Well, I'll be there at 7 a.m. At the latest on Western. So I'm going to be there bright and early. So definitely not a slow morning for me. Which is exciting, though. I kind of like being up in the morning and, all the energy. And I think I get my own golf cart. Very exciting.
Nice.
I know.
Now, let me ask you a little bit about this marathon you're going to run to raise money for St. Jude.
I did that last year.
You did? Mm-hmm. How did it work out?
Awesome. I had never run a race before.
Okay.
So I signed up and was like, oh, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. It went great. I finished.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so was there a campaign of sorts that you put together? Like, hey, I'm going to raise money to run the marathon for St. Jude. How did that work out?
So I applied for the lottery and I had received my, my bid that way. And then I decided, I worked a lot with St. Jude in college. I was like the executive director. So I've, been to their leadership conferences. I recorded videos for them kind of promoting St. Jude. So this was just a easy transition for me.
That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really incredible experience.
So are the St. Jude people aware of the fact that you're queen now? Will they be inviting you to come down to the hospital and meet the kids?
I don't know.
That would be awesome.
I mean, I'm friends with a few of them on social media, so maybe. I'm not sure, but they're from Peoria. So my friends who work at St. Jude are not from the Chicago area, so I don't know if they understand how big the South Side is.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because there's the St. Jude's Hospital, which is in Nashville, right?
Memphis.
Memphis?
Yes.
I'm sorry, yeah. But then, so there's a national organization and then more of a regional organization, and that's what you're saying, you're more involved with the regional people?
Yes. Yeah. They used to send us down to the hospital just for trainings and things.
To the hospital in Memphis? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was there in college for a long weekend. And then their main headquarters, I believe, in Illinois is out of Peoria. They have a Chicago office, but, being from working or I guess going to school in Southern Illinois, Peoria was just, I guess, closer. So they paired us with them.
How did you decide to get involved with that in college? Was it just something that you did out of the pureness of your heart and you were like, I really want to help these kids and get involved? Or did you have a friend who was helping out?
So I was in a sorority in college, and I had kind of hit the point where I felt like I was really secure in my studies. I had, volunteered with the sorority. I was like kind of looking for something else. So I had felt like at that point I was doing everything for me, and now it was time to do something for somebody else.
Good for you.
So it was a really great experience, and I have nothing but positive things to say.
Now, the Make-A-Wish Foundation is directly tied to the St. Jude organization, yes or no?
No,
Okay.
they're two separate.
Because you are also actively involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, yes?
Yes, I'm a wish grantor. Yep, and that's in Chicago. So yeah,
Awesome.
It's a really, really incredible organization. They do so many really great things for the area.
And how did you get involved? Was that something that you were doing simultaneously while volunteering with St. Jude?
No, that was separate. So I stopped St. Jude kind of in college. I had interned actually for Southwest Airlines, and they donated tickets. So if you do 40 hours of work, they'll donate tickets to the nonprofit that you work for.
Oh, cool.
So I had volunteered time. So I was part of that they donated, which was really, really incredible. And then after college, I kind of decided I've always wanted to be a wish grantor.
What is a wish grantor?
So you work with the kids and teens to discover what their wish is. So you meet with them, kind of figuring out what makes them happy, what's going to help them get through treatment.
Mm-hmm. These are kids traditionally suffering from cancer and life-threatening diseases.
Yes, life-threatening diseases. So we're kind of looking at, obviously parents have ideas of what they would like. So it's trying to figure out what benefits the kid. What do they really want, like in their core? So not everybody wants to travel.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Disney World trips for sure. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves Disney, most magical place.
If you say so.
Yeah, but they like, shopping trips and, little
Sure.
things. We just recently had a child who wanted to be a CTA conductor.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. But it's really great to see the impact that it has on these kids.
So when you're a wish grantor, do you show up and meet the kids and say, "Hey, I'm with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm here to are they familiar with you already? Like, how does that work?"
You get paired with them. And then with COVID, I know that there's been some restrictions on meeting them face to face. So sometimes you can do it over Zoom or you can meet them.
Yeah.
But wish grantors can be a part of different parts of the process. So you can be like a discovery wish grantor. So you meet with the child to figure out what the wish is. You can be a celebration wish grantor, which is planning like their party for the day of, trying to get in-kind sponsorships and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can kind of be a part of everything, or you can sign up for the whole journey, which can be, about a year, maybe 6 months of a commitment.
So when you make the commitment to be a wish grantor and you meet with a kid, do you end up trying to logistically figure out how to grant that wish and then trying to take that information to sponsors to drive fundraising to make it happen?
So I'm not part of the actual planning of the wish. So if they want to go, if they want a trip to Hawaii or something, I'm not planning that. I'm just figuring out what the wish is. I give it to the employees at Make-A-Wish, and they kind of figure out how to make that happen.
Okay.
But for the party, I try to find, sponsors and people who want to donate.
Great.
We have a budget, but it's always nice to go above and beyond, and people are usually pretty receptive to donating to the kids.
Have you gotten to know any of the kids after the Make-A-Wish Foundation at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
I was told sometimes you'll keep in touch with them as they get older.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook alumni page.
Cool.
But obviously these children are a lot younger, so they're not a part of it.
Yeah. What's been the most rewarding part of that for you?
I think it's seeing the impact and how much I guess the joy and how excited they are that this day is about them, and it's the one day that they don't have to think about their treatment.
Yeah. Do you talk about your career in aviation with the kids at all and saying, I can take you anywhere you want to go?
Everybody thinks I'm a pilot. Yeah, everyone thinks I'm
Me
a
included.
pilot.
You just made me feel like an idiot. But thank you.
I have relatives who think I'm a pilot, and I just go with it. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
She's a consultant with the airlines. Let's talk a little bit about this year's Grand Marshal is Big Shoulders Fund. Mm-hmm. That's pretty exciting.
it is.
And then the honoree is Mount Sion program.
Yep, at Brother Rice.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that. Do you know much about it?
So it is a new program that they're going to have with children with disabilities, with learning disabilities.
Oh, okay.
So they're able to come into Brother Rice. They have some classes are just smaller, based around their abilities, and then they're also in larger general classes like theology and things like that. Mm-hmm. And then they are also paired with a peer mentor to help them get used to their studies and to meet more people.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are there obligations as being queen to be a part of any of that at all, other than just the day of the parade?
I don't
They're marching with you.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to help in any way possible. I think it's a really great program. And I think it's gonna be really successful.
What's next after the parade for you? Back to reality.
Back to reality. Well, I'm going to Ireland in June.
Oh,
which is
exciting!
Very exciting.
So is that part of the parade of being queen, or is that
No.
you're just going to go?
We have a wedding in
right on.
Ireland. Yep. So my parents and I are going for a week. Going to be driving all over. We're staying near the Cliffs of Moher. I'm so excited.
Oh, cool.
Yep. We're going to be staying at Kilkea Castle for a few nights.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be so incredible.
Is this your first time going to Ireland?
Second. I sang in Ireland with the Mother Macaulay Choir in high school.
Wow. Really?
Yes, yeah.
What brought you guys there?
Mother Macaulay, she's from Ireland. So
Yes.
we did like a whole tour around. My aunt is the choir teacher at Macaulay as well.
Shout out. What's her name?
Julie.
Hi,
my
Julie.
Aunt Julie, yeah.
Julie McKee?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so it was a really, really fun experience, and it's nice to go back. Now that I'm older and I kind of have an idea of what I want to go see. I'm the driver, though. No pressure.
You're the driver?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
No cocktails for you.
All the insurance. Yeah.
So obviously your family has a deep, deep love for being Irish. Mm-hmm. And that has rubbed off on you. And do you feel that someday, if you have daughters, would you encourage them to want to be in the Queen contest? And was it something you would force on? Like, I feel like the Queen contest is something that I've never heard a Queen be like, yes, gung ho about it. But there is a sisterhood to it, mm-hmm. right? And I'm curious to know, what you said, you're the 11th Queen. Mm-hmm. And are there any sort of meetings that are going on between those 11? Who's organizing? Who's going to keep that rich tradition alive?
I would definitely recommend it because as soon as I walked off that stage, they were immediately, you have 10 new friends. Mm-hmm. And they're always looking out for you. Our group chat has been going off crazy, and they are the most supportive people.
That's good.
Obviously I have my family at all these events, but they're also there. They're like, if you need us for anything, you just let us know. If you need to borrow a green dress, we're here for you. They've been probably the most incredible part. Is all of these people that I didn't even know beforehand, and now I feel like I can really kind of go to them for anything. Yeah.
I must tell you, it takes a lot of guts to want to get up there and be a part of this contest. More so on the South Side, I think, than downtown.
Because you know everyone.
Well, because everybody on the South Side is like, oh, yeah, you're a queen now, huh? What makes you queen? It was a little
people are bitter.
People get bitter and angry.
No one was bitter.
Well, that's
everybody
good.
was so excited.
Well, not
for me.
in front of you. They're not bitter, but they got in their cars on the way home and they stewed and yelled at each other.
No, everybody was so sweet. They were all like, "Oh, your family played at our wedding. They played at all these different events." Yeah, so it was meeting all these people who somehow knew my family or knew an uncle or my dad.
That helps, right?
Yeah. But no one was bitter. It's been even the other contestants. I've been talking to them since, and it's been just incredible.
Now, the other contestants they're people that you knew or just you met the day of?
Met the day of.
And they still stayed in touch with you after
Mm-hmm.
you won?
Yeah.
And you're like, you going to come to the parties with us?
Yeah. They're like, we'll see you on parade day. We'll see you back at Bourbon Street.
Uh-huh. So it all ends at Bourbon Street then. And for our listeners who don't know what Bourbon Street is, it's in Marionette Park. It's a giant bar. Mm-hmm. That hosts a lot of fundraisers and events for the Irish American community. And so they had the parade, the Queen contest was there. Mm-hmm. There's obviously an association with the parade committee in Bourbon Street. Yes?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So then so you guys go out and do you're going to be Queen during the parade, and then everything goes back to Bourbon Street for a post party, I presume then?
Post party is going to be at the Beverly Arts Center, but we are at Bourbon Street on Friday for WGN. So
Ooh.
Yes. So we're having I don't know, I know it's huge, but I don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have us there at 7 a.m. getting ready. I think every hour we're on the news.
Now, where do you live now? Are you still living in Beverly?
I'm in Bridgeport.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't go that far.
No, not far.
No.
And how do you like that? How's Bridgeport going for you?
I love Bridgeport.
Do you?
Yeah,
it's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to move. I really love Bridgeport. And I'm so close to home. I'm like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I would agree. Bridgeport's on the up right now. How are we doing on time, Billy?
7 minutes left.
Okay. I'm curious to know that obviously there's deep Irish roots in your family, and that may have been inspired you to want to be a part of this contest. But is it? Did you did they suggest to you like, hey, you're gonna do Queen this year, or was it something that you said to yourself, you know what, I think I'm gonna go for this year?
Oh, like my family?
Yeah.
I think it was a me decision because they didn't know that I applied.
All right.
But I mean, I think it was definitely, supported. Like the idea when the applications come out, are you going to do it? Like, what are you thinking?
And then you didn't tell them, or you
No,
did?
I didn't tell them.
Until the day of.
I didn't even tell them. They got photos from someone else who was at the party.
No way.
So I didn't have a time to tell them. I was like, kind of surrounded by, I won, I walk off the stage. The band is all right there. They're playing, Amazing Grace. I'm not really focused on, I guess, texting anyone. So like even my best friends found out that way. Everybody found out from
Facebook,
from
or
everyone
Instagram,
else.
or something like that.
Yes. So I didn't have a chance to tell anyone. They found out through social media.
Wow, that's so they didn't even get to come and
No.
revel mid court with you.
Yeah, I know. I was just they were like, you didn't want to tell us. I'm like, I just didn't. I didn't know. Like, what if I didn't win and then you guys are all here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a little shocked by it, but I know everyone will be there on Sunday.
Right on.
Yeah, it's gonna be really incredible.
Are you excited to see anybody super excited to be anyone this year that's going to be a part of the parade that you're really excited to be celebrating with?
I have a few friends coming in from out of town who are going to be here, coming in from Nashville.
Okay.
Flying in. They know how big this is for the South Side. So I have a few friends, not from Chicago, but they are starting to understand how important this is and how big the South Side is and how fun our parade is and, kind of the energy around it. So I'm excited to see kind of merge all of my friend groups. All the friends who have not met before are all going to meet me with the crown on.
And where are they staying? Are they all coming over to are they in Bridgeport?
They're all staying in Bridgeport.
So they're all coming over to your house.
Yeah, no pressure.
So you're going to have a big bash with all of your friends at the house and then go out on parade day. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be a really, really fun day. Monday, I'm like, it's actually St. Patrick's Day, but it's like, okay. Like parade's the high for us. So I'll have to find something to do on St. Patrick's Day.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the crown. How often are you wearing this?
I have to wear it at every event. But other than that, work did ask me to wear it.
They did?
Wanted me to wear it to the office.
They want it for a PR op.
They wanted me to wear it. Yeah, they wanted me to come in, and I'm like, well, I take the CTA. I was like, I'm not going to wear this on the red line. Like,
that would be kind of wild if you did.
That'd be kind of funny. But no, they were asking, like, you should totally wear the crown in. Bring the sash. Like, we want to see it. So maybe Monday. Maybe I'll go to the office Monday, and I'll wear the sash and the crown.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you were to do that on the L these days, or you'd need security with you.
I might, I don't know. They might be okay with it. People might want to take pictures.
They absolutely would.
They're not going to know why, but they're going to want to take a picture.
Absolutely, they would.
Yeah.
Which that's a good social experiment right there.
See how people react to a crown on the CTA.
Oh, you should Parade Queen Instagram account where for like a week,
meeting the people.
A week, you're just wearing a green dress, walking around the city, and just
Jewel.
Yeah, you're going to Jewel. You're going to get an Italian beef. You're just doing all Chicago-ish type of things.
I feel like that's normal though for this week. You're going to see everybody is all dressed up.
Yeah,
everyone's wearing green.
Well, then we scratch it, Grace. You're going to do it for a full year.
Yeah, full year. Yeah, in the middle of I guess September, halfway to St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I start walking around at the crown on.
All summer long, you must wear the green dress and a sash and a crown.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm ready. Full year. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, Grace McKee, she's the 47th Southside Irish St. Patrick's Day Parade Queen this year, the 11th Queen crowned. Thank you so much for joining us this hour.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
And we're so excited for you. And have a great time. And you know what? Keep up the great work with Make-A-Wish and St. Jude's.
Yeah, they're incredible organizations.
Incredible organizations. We'll be back with more Hibernian Radio after these.